Hi, I'm Vivian Acquah, the workplace wellness advocate, and I'm going to inspire you with Linked4Energy to work on your wellness. My guest of today is Max Hunter, and Max calls himself the Chief Joy Officer. That makes me a bit curious. What does a Chief Joy Officer do? Will you stay tuned? Hi, Max.
Hi, Vivian.
How are you?
Good, thank you very much. It's a very great introduction, so thank you for that.
You're welcome. And can you tell me in 1 minute who you are?
Yeah, so as you said, I'm Max Hunter, Chief Joy Officer at a company called Logic. I am on the board of the company, on the executive management team, and it's my job to really look at what is it like to work in this company for the people. And it's my job to listen in to what the people want and what's happening with them, to then create some ideas and initiatives to see how we can improve that, and then of course to implement them as well and learn from all of that. So that's what I do with Logic as Chief Joy Officer. It is my official title, but I also help other companies who want to create a great workplace full of motivated people who are able to fulfill their potential.
That sounds very interesting, but what is your definition when it comes to workplace wellness?
I've got a pretty simple version of that, which is that people wake up on a Monday morning looking forward to going to work again.
That's a good definition and short as well. That's a good one. Yeah. But it explains a lot.
Yeah. And of course, it's very much therefore, it's not about gym memberships and beanbags. It's also not even just about yoga classes and nutrition, although those are important. It's really, I think wellness starts from that feeling that you look forward to doing something. And if you're enjoying your work, if you're motivated by it, if you're on your purpose, if all of these things are happening, then I think a lot of the wellness problems that we have in the workplace start to disappear on their own.
Yeah, I agree. And you are the Chief Joy Officer. A lot of people who are watching are looking at us maybe like, okay, tell me, what is a Chief Joy Officer? What do you do? And why the name Chief Joy Officer instead of Happiness Officer?
Sure. So when I was first offered the role, it started with Chief Culture Officer, but I felt that was I'm not sure anyone can define what culture is. Then, the words Chief Happiness Officer came up, and that's okay. It's not bad, but it had that connotation of fun only, of parties or doing some quirky things in the office. I know of some chief happiness officers who do a great job, but they're typically not as high up in the organization as I, and they often get pigeonholed as the people who hold parties and wave pretty flags around. So, and again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but that's only a small part, I think, of making a workplace a truly inspiring place to work. So I landed on joy. I felt joy was a bit deeper than happiness. You can be kind of joyful even through difficult times. You can be joyful having come off the back of a really stressful time, but it's been, you've been in the flow, it's been tough, but that can be quite joyful as well as, of course, the parties, they're having fun, they're having a smile in the workplace too. So that's why I landed on Chief Joy Officer in the end.
Okay, that's good. Why is it as Chief Happiness Officer or Chief Joy Officer a must? And when you look at the future, why do companies need it?
Sure. I think if we start with the future, my wish is almost that there is no such thing as a Chief Joy Officer or Chief Happiness Officer in the future, because it's an integral part of how leaders lead an organization, all leaders. They focus on what's it like to work here. They focus on what do their people need to fly. They are focusing on those things. Almost that is the definition of leadership. And when that day comes, I will be a happy man because, of course, then all of our workplaces will be better places to work.
Yes, I agree.
But until that day comes, we definitely need our Chief Joy Officers, Chief Happiness Officers now, or at least people whose job is purely, and I mean purely, to focus on what is it like to work here and to make to that. Our HR professionals, I believe, mostly went into the industry to do that. But from what I've seen and heard, they end up being the people who manage processes, manage payroll, deal with the problems that get thrown at them by the managers. And so they don't have the time, the capacity to focus on what's it like to work here and how do you make a difference. So HR don't fulfill that role at the moment, unfortunately. So we need to either enable HR to do that or create these Chief Joy Officer, Chief Happiness Officer roles. And in order for those to be successful, they have to be quite high up in the organization. They have to have an influence. There has to have full buy-in from the CEO, so that then when the CJO or CHO comes with, here's what it's like to work here, here's the things that will make a difference, be able to put that in a language that the more business-oriented and less people-oriented management team understands, to then come up with the ideas and the initiatives, and to then find ways to make them stick, really stick, then that's what this role really needs.
It sounds very good. But when you look at the company that you're currently working for, what has been the biggest changes that you have seen since you have become a Chief Joy Officer?
Yeah, one of the first things that I noticed when I listened in to the people was there was a lack of connection and collaboration, therefore, between offices, between departments. I think we've all worked in companies where the departments are very siloed. And this lack of connection was leading to poor collaboration, poor quality of work, especially as it was passed from one department to the next. And therefore, there was a real need to improve this sense of connection. And to do that, I actually introduced an internal workplace app where we got to see the more human side of each other, where we got to connect. It's not dissimilar to an internal Facebook, but of course it's more business focused. And we started it with a game to get people involved, to get people actively engaged with this. We did a game called Best Team Selfie, where each team in the business got to do their own selfie.
Yeah.
What they came up with was remarkable. The creativity, the fun, the way that they got involved in it. Everything from people dressing up as mummies by wrapping themselves in toilet paper in the office, to a group who did their daily routine in their morning routine in the work bathroom and took a picture of them brushing their teeth and doing their hair and all that kind of stuff. All the way through to the winners, which were the Logic Tribe, a bunch of guys and girls who got dressed up in tribal uniforms, painted their faces, even got their tops off and took pictures in the office and stuff. So they got super involved, and this led to engagement. Okay, and we're talking about employee engagement here. And now this tool is used, this internal app is used to share success stories, to educate on what teams are doing, to have more fun. We have other games in there. And then I launched the Thank You Initiative using the app. And the Thank You Initiative was a way for people to say thank you to their colleagues for doing something special for them.
We are not doing that too often, saying thank you or praising somebody for a good work done.
Correct. And recognition, which is of course one of the key elements of gratitude, is missing in most of our organizations. We're so busy focusing on what's next, what still has to be fixed, that we don't take a moment to recognize what we have done. And therefore the Thank You Initiative was a key part of that. And so people can thank each other in this app. And of course, it also goes public, which means that they get global recognition for it, that nice warm glow. But they also receive our internal loyalty reward points. So we have an internal employee loyalty program, which is powered by our choice points. And when you receive a thank you, the company donates 200 points to you.
Wow.
Which you can then go and use and spend in a shop, in an online shop, where you can buy everything from iPhones to luggage, to clothing, to whatever it is that you want to spend your points on.
It sounds very interesting. Thank you, Max, for this interview. And I want to address the viewers. If you have any questions regarding this interview, or you just want to say hi to Max, just drop them here below. This was Linked4Energy. I'm Vivian Acquah, the Workplace Wellness Advocate. And till next time, bye.